Hello, everybody. If you're new here, welcome. And to my regular fan base, welcome back. So, in this video, in my series, we're going to continue from my last live video by way of how to keep the authorities accountable and offering breakthroughs of insights to those other men who are being, excuse my language, fucked over by the system. So, what you're about to hear is two voice recordings. The first will be from my son's school, the reception, and the second voice recording will be from the head teacher himself. Now, the reason for this, why I wish to showcase this, in order to promote transparency and accountability, is to see what happens or if double standards apply. What I mean by this is you can see my beard right now. It's currently getting towards, long or getting towards long, getting towards a long beards. It's kind of medium right now. But the point is, here's my points. A year and a half ago, just by kissing my son, hugging him and kissing him when we first moved into my property, a lot of you know my situation. He lost his mummy to COVID-19. And just by showing love and hugging and kissing your own child, and just from my beard scratching my son's face goes red, case takes nearly a year to close. Now, why I'm saying this is a lot of you guys know at this point I see my son at a contact centre. And the reason for this, I can't say entirely because we're still in proceedings. And next January, the truth is going to come out. I can assure you, each and every one of you watching this live video right now. And I can discuss the accusations in its entirety, everything. I can discuss the last accusations, which is my beard scratching my son's face, because that case is shut. Although it took nearly a whole year to close. And that's because of so many lies. I can't say too much here, but by my son's carer, because she wants my boy to herself. And in a way, I can understand it. Different sides of the family. Who am I to her? I'm nobody. The connection was between my son's carer / my mother-in-law. The connection was between me and my mother-in-law was her daughter, and obviously my son. That's the connection between her and I. Otherwise, what is the connection? There is none. So I don't gotta like it, but I understand it, why she's done what she's done. And again, I have to be very careful here and blur that line and can't reveal too much. I can say that, but I can't go into detail. But now all this is out of the way, I'm going to let the voice recording speak for itself here. Like I say, you'll hear two, the first from the reception and the second from the head teacher himself. So now, with all that said, in order to get clarity, I'm going to play the recording right now. Both of them. First you'll hear is from the reception. Hi there, good afternoon. My name's ChristopherMurray, Austin Murray's father. I had a missed call, I'm returning.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Murray.
Okay, no problem. All right.
Yeah. He's not answering his phone. I will let him know that you called, though.
No, I appreciate that. Just before you do go, can you please clarify, was it Mr. Ross that did call me earlier, to your knowledge?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I think I know what it's about, second of all, because in order to promote transparency and accountability, when my son's face was red with dada, when my beard scratched my son's face, and the school flagged it up as a so-called great concern, case took nearly a year to shut. So I want to see, after seeing my child at contact yesterday, what actually happens when Dada flags up a red face whilst he's under Maria's care. That's what it's about, yeah?
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, get him to call me when you can. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. So you can see from my attitude there, it's sarcastic and this, and this. And the reason for this is because, you know, there's many lies that have been told and many double standards that have been orchestrated upon to me from the system's false propaganda and own narrative. Now, you'll hear in the second voice recording why I feel that this is how it is, why this is the case. And rather than me flapping my abs, I'm going to play a voice recording now of me and the head teacher, and then you'll hear everything as to, you know, why I feel that this is the case on top of everything I said in this live at the start. So with that said, 3, 2, 1, let's play. Hello.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Murray. It's Mr. Ross.
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Ross? You okay?
Very good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Do you mind if I just get into your email? Would that be okay if I just talk about that briefly?
Absolutely, I'm listening.
Great. So I know that you would have had contact yesterday. I did see Austin leave yesterday. If I'm honest, because I see so many different children, I can't quite recall if I did observe a red mark to his walks. I see from the picture to his right cheek.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose before I wanted to start any investigation on this end, just because obviously Austin's grandmother didn't pick him up to go to contact, so essentially he would have been at school with us all day,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would have been picked up, and then obviously then he would have met you following contact.
Okay.
Can I ask though, because I know that you, I can understand why you made the comments around things happened before with you previously, so you know obviously people should be held to account, which I definitely want to be if something's happened here. But did Austin say something had happened to him here? I suppose from the picture that you shared, I could see maybe a little bit of redness, but not too much. I just wanted to know his side of the story from yourself, if that's okay.
Absolutely. So, before I answer that question, respectfully, you didn't see much of a red mark, to your point, and it is true. But because it was a video, naturally I couldn't send it to your email due to the size ramifications. Like with a video, you cannot send it because of the size. I mean, I'm rubbish with tech as it is, so I know I won't be able to send the video. But my point is, to your point, you can still see a red mark. However, to my point, when you actually play the video, the mark becomes a lot more visible and it is a lot more evidently clear that his face was really red. Now that that's out of the way, second thing is, when I asked my son about it yesterday, he said he wasn't sure, he didn't know. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I suppose, and I want to be very transparent here. I know that there's been a couple of things that happened to Austin here in the past, and I've had to call you because the school should take responsibility for things if they happen here, and they should, for every child in this building. I suppose that's why I wanted to call before I spoke with Austin, because I didn't want to sort of like alarm him and just say, you know, something happened yesterday, because I want to investigate, because sometimes the children just cut the head.
No, understood. Absolutely understood. And just, you know, just so that we're clear, I mean, you know, just as much of a responsibility when a guy's beard scratches his son's face and the case takes nearly a year to shut, right? Sarcastic here. So, yeah.
I suppose, though, did you want me to complete a full investigation with the Austin red marks? I'm also mindful of that just because of the weather.
Okay.
Lots of our children sort of have
yes, that's a good point. That's a good point. The weather is getting colder and children are going to be more susceptible pertaining towards getting red marks on their face resulting from the weather becoming colder. This is true. However, what I've got a massive problem with is when my beard scratched my son's face and the whole case took nearly a year to close and the school was like, oh, we've got to get this big bad wolf, you know, and oh, you know, look how bad this guy is. And then the case takes nearly a year to shut, just in order to promote transparency and accountability. Will Maria have to go through the same channels now that I've reported the son to marks to my son's face now as he's under Maria's care? Would she have to go through this turmoil, this emotional torture?
Anybody would have to go through the same process. I want to be clear though that
Okay.
Then technically within the care of the local authority going to contact.
Yes.
If something happened when Austin was with that person, I forget her name, so apologies. She would have to report such things to the...
Oh, no, absolutely. And just so that you and I are clear, me personally speaking, I understand, believe me. I understand that kids play, they get injured, accidents can happen just like that very easily. Just so that you and I are clear, I'm not the stupid social worker or professionals who, ridicule and attack somebody when their beard scratches their son's face, the case takes nearly a year to shut, or not been accused of strangulation, which has all been uncovered, the lies about me, and next year I will be winning my child back. I'm almost about guaranteed by my solicitor for your information, okay? But what I've got a problem with, just so that you and I are clear, it's not so much that I'm so concerned about my son's welfare as in accidents. I know how much accidents happen. For me, it's not about that. It's about if I'm flagged up whilst my son's under my care and my beard scratches my son's face, for me it's about accountability, that whilst my son's under Maria's care and his face goes red, what happens then? Or is it double standards? That's what I've got a problem with. Do you understand?
I do.
Cool. Yeah.
Because he wasn't with his grandmother, it's now my responsibility.
Understood.
He was not anybody else. So hence why I'm asking, would you like me to ask him if anything did happen yesterday? Like I might be the
well, to your knowledge, Mr. Ross, was his face reported as red when he came in?
Nothing. Normally, like I said, if I get a report about anything later on, I'd let you know.
Okay.
So I didn't have any report around there being any sort of physical altercation.
Yeah.
Or anything about him being ill.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would definitely inform you.
No, I understand that. And also, in order to promote transparency and accountability, may I ask you a question, please?
Please.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, a year and a half, I think it was just over a year, maybe a year and 3 months, when and I believe it was Hannah Bunton that called me up, and I still got the voice recording from that very day, and how shocked I was when she called me, because that's when I started recording, you see. That's when I want to be honest and transparent with you. When Hannah Bunton called me up, right, and told me, we've got to flag you up, Mr. Murray, to social services because your beard scratched your son's face, that's when I became so obsessed, to the point where I've been accused of being obsessed, being crazy by the authorities. Really? Or is it being me defending myself and proving myself with all the voice recordings that I have? And this is how I'm going to win with all the tyrannical behaviour and to save myself, excuse my language, Mr. Ross, for being fucked over by the system. You know, to me it's defence. And I still got the recording of when Hannah called me up, and I was just so shocked. I was literally, my voice was cracking. I was in tears almost. It's like, why? What? So I want to ask you a question, Mr. Ross, because from that point, that's when I started recording, number one. Number two is it, may I please ask, would somebody else, right, would somebody else or any other parent have gone through the same thing that I've gone through if their beard scratched their own son and they get social services onto them by the school? Would that happen? May I ask?
I would say that the school would always alert the appropriate people if there was a concern. At that point, the appropriate people would say, yes, it's met threshold. No, it hasn't met threshold. Sometimes we get that.
Okay, and
but nothing will happen.
That's understood. And look, because you know me, I wear no filter, and look, I understand your position, I've always respected you, but, you know, and I say this with respect, let's cut through the political bullshit. I know you're protecting your position, I know you can't say, but what you've just said tells me, quoting yourself here, you said to the correct people. So that tells me, I know you can't say, and I have to respect that, your position, you've got to be political, everyone's got to be fake bitches, I get it. No one can be real, I understand, because your position, but, here's what that tells me. That tells me, to the correct people, quote, to the correct people yourself, unquote, that means that it was reported to social services by the school, correct? because of my past or my criminal history? Or
say that basically Ealing has
okay,
something called ECHO.
indulge me.
It stands for
Yeah.
Ealing Children's Services to be
Okay.
there's a lot of bit of space what it means. So basically if there's ever a concern that comes to a school in Ealing, we would have to call them first.
Okay.
And then they would decide the appropriate people to pass it on to. So say, for example, I said, I don't know, I've got a concern about a child or a parent, for example.
Okay.
We would always call them first every school in Ealing. And then Ealing may say, yes, we want to support this matter. We're going to tell X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Or they would say, no, thank you for bringing it to our attention, but no further support's required. Deal with it yourself.
And I do apologise. When you say Ealing, that was Ealing who? Social Services or somewhere else?
No, council.
Oh, Ealing Council. So it's mandatory that the school calls the council for everybody where the accidents are involved. Is that correct? It's not exclusive to myself. Is that correct?
No, goodness me, no. I
Okay.
speak to them quite often. So
Okay.
it's
Just so that we're clear.
You know, like I was saying to you previously around,
Yeah.
if you want to have a conversation with us about education, obviously
Right.
that's my job. But I suppose because elements of social care aren't the school's job, we then have to pass it on.
I understand.
Pass it back.
I understand. So it's protocol that you report each and everything by every parent, or sorry, let me rephrase that. It's protocol from the school's part that the school reports any concerns that they have relating towards the parents to the council. Is that correct?
I would say 9 times out of 10 that's correct.
9 times out of 10. And what's the 1% where it isn't correct?
Or that would be if any school had a significant fear of immediate danger.
Okay, then the police should be called. Okay, I understand. No problem, Mr. Ross. And of course, so then the council get involved, and then the council, that kind of answers my question, because in Ealing Broadway, the council, I think, and social services are one. So Percival House. May I ask, is that common for every council building, or is that just certain council buildings in certain areas? May I ask?
Well, you can't quote me, but I think every council has a building.
So every council has a building and is shared social services, correct?
Yes, I imagine. Yes, to cut long story short, yes.
No, I understand that. So just to pause here real quick, the local council where I live, it's shared with social services. And just to provide an insight here, you cannot get in to the doors without an appointment, number one. Number two, the doors are always locked. And number three, they have security outside, 2 of them at all times, which means that you got to go up to security, request to have the doors locked and show them proof of your appointment in order to be let in through the said locked doors. What's my point? My point is, why would they have to do that if they weren't fucking over everybody's life for the system? Cog on the wheel. You know, everyone's expendable. They don't care about children and their children's feelings and the child who's going through parental alienation. No. What they care about is effing over good men. This is why people walk away. This is why men are bent to submission. They get tired of fighting a fight that they can't control, and when everybody's against them. And meanwhile, the rubbish men, the deadbeat dads, they're the ones that get off scot-free when they say, we'll walk away from their women or their children. I don't want to be no more involved. F it, I'm out. And they get off scot-free. It's ironic, isn't it? And then the good men, for the most part, are exploited, effed over, and, expendable for money, for the system. That's how the courts make their money. I just wanted to say that and continue on. It makes sense to me now, Mr. Ross. So it's protocol, council, and then social services. They look at my past history. And then, I
can't comment on what they look at because that's not...
Oh, no, I know you can't comment on what they look at, but I can tell you with confidence that I know for absolute certain they did, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been fighting for that beautiful son of mine for 6 years now, 6.5 years,
4.5 years under the Surrey local authority. Never had any issues. Me and my wife would always go there. They'll come to us, blah, blah, blah. And because just so that we're clear, I'm speaking to you like this because next year I'm going to be involved. I'm winning this case, Mr. Ross, okay? And not entirely. He's still going to be of Islam, right? But I'm winning the case as in exposing all the tyranny about me, the lies, everything. I'm coming back, okay? And I'm going to be involved in my son's school pick-up and drop-off. So I want to have this quick chat with you right now. Just literally give me a couple more minutes, if you don't mind. But just so that we're clear, like with regards to my son and me not wanting to work the Ealing local authority. Well, this is because I went through all the deaths that I did. My mum, my father, my wife, my second son, and my mother-in-law's mum. And I moved home. I'm parenting across generations at that point, right? I'm in the middle, right? 30 plus, whatever. My son's lower, like 4 or 5 at the time, whatever. Since my wife's passing, and my mother-in-law is 70 at the time or whatever. So my point is, can you see the gap is unbelievably large? Parenting across generations is exhausting with an elderly lady, respectfully, and with my son as young as he was and currently is, respectfully. Can you see my point? That's why I didn't want to work with them. But then, and to be fair, in order to promote transparency and accountability, I'm the one that said take me to court because, and I did, because the reason for this is because I didn't want to work with them anymore. I wanted a fresh start. I wanted to move home, and they wouldn't allow me to have that. And so they've looked for any which way to get me, but and tell all these lies, beard scratching your son's face. To me, something stinks, and to me, there's a primitive reason as to why they're doing what they're doing. My personal feelings, I can't say I'm correct, but I'll tell you 2 things. My personal feelings is, 1, they can't stand to look at a guy who chose to walk away from the system at 29, who chose to get his house, who chose to get a business, who chose to have a beautiful son, developing emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, academically. You know, I've done a lot for my boy, okay? I'm not perfect by any means. I've had a very sheltered life. This is one of the big pivotal points, I believe, in conjunction with that point, with leaving the system at 29, being in the real world for 6 years, 7 years nearly now. So that, in conjunction with me making my own path, I believe it's shameful for them. They don't want to admit that. And they're just hell-bent on trying to bring me down. Now, I can't prove this, I think, but it's because of my lack of life experience and me doing as well as I've done, it makes them look shameful. But they can't say this because it's bad PR. So they're going to do the gutless, cowardly thing to do and revert to the criminal history. Now, I'm not saying I'm factually correct, but I do think it's not out of the realm of possibility. There is a reason, that's what I know, Mr. Ross. I don't believe for a second an ordinary person who had a normal life, right? And am I making sense to you? Am I talking to you? Like, who didn't come from the system, who had no criminal history, I don't believe for a second that they'll be going through what I've gone through. And most importantly, my son's gone through, Mr. Ross. You know? Does that make sense?
I think so. I think it does.
Yeah? I know you can't say you got to be political. I get it. So you'll say, I think so. And meet in the middle, let's go with that. Fair enough. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Like I said,
got it.
I do want, and I'm glad that you did get in touch, because if you do have concerns around our students' well-being here, I'm glad that you feel confident to raise that with the law.
I'm glad you feel that way. And just so that we're clear, I've had no problems with yourself nor the school at all, just so that you and I are clear there. I've been very grateful to the school and how patient you are with my son, understanding that he's gone through a lot. He's lost his mum, and now he's nearly lost his dad, but his dad's coming back next year. You know, now I'm winning this case. But it's been rough for everybody, but I commend you in the school for the patience and the compassion you have for my son. So my problem's not with you guys. My problem's with the local authorities, okay? But, I just wanted to, know the answers, because, just for accountability purposes. Something to me stinks, and I know you can't say it. But anyway, to the school, I've got no issues, and thank you for your time, Mr. Ross, yeah?
My pleasure, and I will speak with you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Ross, okay?
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So, just wanted to share that. By the way, side note, always the way you go live and somebody calls you, or there's a noise in the background, or the kids walk past. Always something when you go live. Luckily, you would have had a ding on Messenger, and I cancelled it straight away. So it didn't affect my live video, and or I did to the point where I lose focus of my train of thought. But what I just want to say in closing is that I hope this has provided some valuable insights towards how to protect yourself when everybody's against you, whether it's a school or whether it's the school. To be fair with me, I'm talking in general terms. If it's somebody else who's going through what I'm going through and the school's against them, my son's school has been very good to me. My son in particular, of course, but very good with me as well. They can't be, because look, there's a harsh truth to face, man, and a bitter pill to swallow. And here's the facts. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about doing what's right. Nobody cares about integrity. All everyone cares about is covering their own fucking ass, right? That's the reality. And that's why everyone's fake. Not me. Not me. I'm real to the bone. And I expose all these things. Now, this guy you just heard, he's a lovely man. I've got no problem with him in any way, shape, or form. But he has to be political. He has to protect himself. And I have to understand that and respect that. And I do. But my issues is with the social services, the local authority, and contact service supervisors, professionals that don't know anything, professionals that look all drugged up on pharmacy drugs, like a zombie, walking zombie, can barely get their words out. Professionals, right? They know nothing. They don't know about emotional immersion and, actually interacting with the child. And it's funny because I'm frowned upon, or I used to be, I should say. Every time they would see me, the contact observers, they would look at me like, oh, give me funny looks. Oh, this guy's so emotionally in tune with his son's feelings. Oh, he's playful. Oh, this is weird. Well, why the fuck is it weird? Shouldn't parents be doing that with their children? Shouldn't they be actually emotionally, psychologically, spiritually in tune with their child/children's feelings? I think they should. Unfortunately, the majority of the parents take their children for granted. They just dump the devices in front of them, or they just neglect them. They take their own children for granted. No, man, not me. So that's the thing. When you come across in such a real, raw, and authentic way or manner, people aren't going to like that shit. They're going to look at you like you're a threat, that you're a problem, and that you're wrong. But no, you're wrong when they did you wrong. In this case, me. I am very sarcastic. I used to be bitter, and now I've found peace lately by learning to let go, thanks to a dear friend of mine. She's opened my eyes. And I realise that I'll still fight for my boy where I can, but I'm no longer going to waste my precious energy towards fighting a battle that I can't win. And lately I've just backed off. I'm like, okay, whatever you want to say about me, take it. It's yours. I no longer care. I care to a certain degree, but I'm no longer waste precious energy where that time and that energy, the two most valuable commodities that we have on this earth, I could be using for work. And I've been neglecting my work for a very long time whilst fighting for my son. But I just wanted to share this voice recording. I digress. But I just want to share this voice recording to hopefully provide some nuances and nuggets of information and breakthroughs to anybody else who's going through struggles, trials, tribulations, how to protect themselves from the lies, from the tyrannical behavior, right? From the authorities. This guy here wasn't tyrannical at all. Incredibly respectful. But when that leash is off next year, and when we're out of proceedings, everything's going to be revealed. And you're going to hear so much tyrannical authority figures that have tried to break me and break me and break me. Yet I'm still here. And I had to learn to be peaceful. I had to learn to be political. I can't be fake. I don't know how to be fake. I don't know how to wear a mask because I'm real. And I'm very proud of that. And look, man, I'd much rather be lonely and be real and see the truth rather than be a fake bitch and just be a carbon copy like everybody else. So anyways, I hope this video has helped somebody, as I keep saying. And yeah, just wanted to come up and say this and provide more information towards my son's and his father's comeback story next year. So if you made it all the way through, thank you. God bless you. I appreciate you. And yeah, we'll speak again down the roads. Much love. Peace.